it's Sjuzii. Today I'll be sharing some tips when drawing horses. Note that these are tips. Drawing takes lots of practice. These are tips, not a complete tutorial on how to draw. Let's get started. Before starting drawing, make sure you're using a drawing app you're familiar with. I personally use 𝖧�𝑊𝑃𝑎𝑛𝑡𝑋. It's free, and I have used it since I was little. For your reference photo, there is a few things to keep in mind. First, the quality. Make sure your picture has the right quality. I recommend taking a picture in high quality. This is so you can color drop the colors with ease and know that the color is correct. Make sure that items that give off light like auras and lanterns are not included in the picture. Items that give off light may make the colors off. Now that you have your reference photo and your drawing app ready, let's get started on the drawing. I'm going to be showing you the different brushes I mostly use in my drawings, and I'm going to be showing you what different types of outlines do with your drawings. The brush I use the most is the dip pen hard. It has clean edges and it gives my outline a nice look. Another brush I use is the dip pen soft. As you can see, this brush has softer blended edges. I also use the airbrush. I usually use these for small blended areas like the ears or the muzzle of the horse. When I'm drawing island unique hairs, I usually download a brush that matches the texture of the hair. And that's what I use for brushes. Now I'll show you what different types of outlines can do with your drawing. Outline size is very important. Do not make your outlines too big. This makes the drawing look off. Also, do not use pixelated pens. These make the drawings look cheap and less good in quality. Another thing to note is that sometimes it's not the pen that is making your drawing look weird. It may be the size of your canvas. Here is an example. I made my canvas 100 by 100 pixels. And as you can see, even when I'm using the brush I always use, I still get a lot of pixels. Make sure your canvas is the right size. Now for pen difference. It's a little bit hard to see, but I'm trying my best to show you. The one on the left is made with a pixel brush, the other with the brush I always use. I find that clean brushes make your outlines look better. Now some tips when coloring. I'm gonna be using the same base. Make sure you're coloring on a new layer beneath the outline. I turn my background black and then start coloring a base in a white color. Make sure the skin and hair is both on a different layer. When you're done, add a new layer and set it on clipping mask. Now when you want to color, you won't have trouble coloring outside your outline. This is something I do all the time. It helps me finish my pieces faster. Coloring is the most exciting part of drawing. And I usually make sure I have all the tack included in my outline so I can just color after, so I don't have to go back and forth. Let me show you how I color in my horses. I'm going to be using a horse of one of my subscribers. I first start with adding a new layer. This will be the layer I keep my colors on. Color pick the colors from your picture. Make sure you have a light tone, medium tone, and dark tone. I'm using the reference windows so I can move it around freely. Now that I have all my colors, I'm going to start with the base. I add a new layer above the white layer we created and set it on clipping. Now fill in with your lightest color. As you can see, some parts are a bit messy, but we will fix that later. Add a new layer above the white layer you created for the mane and tail. It's good to keep these separated from the coat layer. Also color these in with your lightest color. Always check back with your reference. This horse has a little white spot on the face. Let's add that next. Every new detail you add, make sure you add it onto a new layer. This is very important. Keep adjusting to your size and liking. Some things may take a few tries until you're happy with how it's looking. A big thing I learned when following art classes is to look closely. Make sure you capture details some others may not see. Let's color the hooves. Again, do this on a new layer. It's looking very cute so far. Now time to add some shading. I do the shading on a new layer. Again, shading is all up to you and how you like to do it, but I usually shade on places shadows hit. For example, at the neck area and around the feet and stomach. When drawing a full body pose, it's important to keep in mind that the back leg is more shaded than the others. Why, you may ask? Well, this is because it's further back. Adding a darker color helps give it depth and makes it look like the back leg is actually further back. With an airbrush, I brush around the ears and legs. This is where I shade in the eyes. Now for something that I feel like makes my artwork even better, giving my lion heart a different color. It makes my artwork look soft and cute. Just look at the difference when your outline is black and when it's colored. For example, when you're drawing light-skinned horses, the contrast between the black outline and the color of the light coat. You can also add soft highlights with where the light is hitting. Now this is where I found that the coat was looking a bit too gray. Now this is a perfect example that a lighter outline may make your drawing look weird. See what a difference it makes. And that's how I make most of my coats. Some are more complicated than others. Just make sure you're looking at the simple details. What makes this coat unique? Now let's move on to shading the hair. Again, this is different for all horses. These are the brushes I'll be using for the mossy hair. Codes are on screen for if you want to copy. I light dab it on there, making sure that each shade of green is on a new layer. Make sure you keep working on the mane and tail at the same time. This is so you don't lose your steps. If you're going for an artsy style like I am, nothing has to be the exact same, as long as you give a feeling of what it looks like. In this case, I want the mane and tail to look like moss. Because it's mossy, I'm going to be adding a bit more brown into the mane and tail. Just look at how it adds a lot. Again, I make the line art in a darker shade of green along with some small mixture of browns. Even with this already looking cute, I now add my final details. I'll be adding some white sparks in the eyes. And lastly, I add my mark. This is very important when posting your art online. I have had many people using or stealing my art without my permission, so make sure to add your watermark so that if it gets stolen you can prove that it's yours. And done. I'm very happy with how it turned out. Before I end my video, I want you guys to know that there is no right or wrong way to draw. It's about improving your skills. I know many of you have got the skills for it. You just don't know it yet. I want to end this video with a quote my art teacher tells me all the time. Everyone can draw. I have never done this before, but I'm sure I can do it. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. And I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.